This week, you guys are going to be working just on one level, so it's going to be Unit 4, Lesson 11. This is your second week working with functions. So I wanted to give you guys 2 weeks on this because it's a pretty important concept. So this assignment is just going to be your make assignment. So if you're looking at the lesson details, you'll see that it's the Unit 4, Lesson 11 make assignment. We're 10 points. There's going to be an activity guide. This is optional. You do not have to do this. I am also giving you the planning guide. So this is just like your last make assignment. I don't give the activity guide to my in-person students. We basically walk through the app together as a class, and then we generate this planning guide. So I do suggest that you look at the activity guide since you're not in class with me. It's a little more structured, provides a little more detail for you. So just kind of follow through these steps, figuring out what variables you're going to need. I would especially pay attention to this conditional section because it does kind of show you how you need to add some of the logic for the if-else statement to get some of the feedback output to work correctly. And there is also a review of the update screen pattern, which is what you're going to want to add to update the screen as the different inputs are changed. So if we're going to look at the app, this is the Quote Maker app. So what you'll see is that there's a lot of different options, right? I can type a quote in. I'm just going to type test. It will add that to my screen. I can change the font family, right, which is going to change like how the font looks. I can change the color of the background. Right. I can also use the slider to change the font. And you're going to notice that not only do I have these 4 inputs producing essentially 2 outputs out here, because one is the background color and one is the text, there is also this feedback down here where it says like nice design. What I want you to notice is that if you read this line here, there's some very specific feedback that needs to be given when certain inputs match. So if I choose lavender, which I've already chosen, and I choose Lucidia sand, you're going to notice that this nice design is going to change and say great combo. Right? Also, if I choose light green and I move the slider around, it's going to start by saying nice design, but at this one point it says looking fresh. Right? So for the most part, it's always saying nice design. But if I have the light green, it says looking fresh, and if I have that lavender and the Lucidia sands, it tells me great combo. And that's why this activity guide is showing you a conditional with 3 possible outputs, because if the color is lavender and the font family is Lucidia sands, this should say great combo. Right? So make sure that you're building all the parts of this app. In the planning guide, this is what I build with my students in class. We kind of break it down very specifically. So when we're looking at the quotes, the variables, these are the 4 variables that you're going to need to build this app, along with the starting value that you should assign to those variables. You can see for the event handlers, those on events, there's 4 of them that you're going to need to get this to work. So if that quote input event happens, you need to update the quote variable and then call this update screen function. So if you read through this, you can almost go line by line, convert each line to a line of code, and your app should be working. This is that update screen function, so you're just going to need the one function for this app. You are going to want to set the text for the quote output, do these 3 set properties, and then this is where your conditional will go, where you're going to have that if else to output that feedback based on whatever condition is being met. All right, so when you go to level 2 on your app, you will see they're going to give you the UI. So they give you everything that you need with the elements, the IDs, the slider, but they do not give you any of the code. So you're going to have to use this activity guide, use this planning guide to build this app and make sure that this app is working correctly. Just one last reminder, most students are able to get the text to show, change the font family, change the color, and they'll get this slider working. Where they tend to lose points is down here in this feedback output. So make sure you do not forget about that. You get that if else statement in there to handle that correctly. So that's pretty much it. As usual, if you have any questions, you can shoot me an email, or you can talk to me during your weekly check-in, or you can just come by before school, during lunch, or after school in room 624. Thanks.